My name is Elena Brooks. I'm 37, and last Christmas, my younger brother shoved me so hard in front of my entire family that I hit the edge of the dining table and not one person stood up for me. Not one. And my mom? She looked straight at me, cold, like I was some outsider, and said, "Don't start drama today. Not today." Yeah. That's when I realized something I should have figured out years ago. I wasn't part of that family anymore. I was just the one funding it. If you're watching this, hit subscribe and tell me where you're watching from, because what I'm about to tell you, this isn't just a story. This is what happens when you give everything to people who see you as nothing. Let me take you back. December 23rd. Snow barely sticking to the ground, that wet, slushy kind that ruins your boots. The drive from Boston to my parents' place in rural Ohio, about 9 hours if traffic behaves, which it never does. I pulled into that driveway around 5:30, exhausted, back stiff, head pounding. But the trunk? Packed. Gifts, groceries, expensive wine, prime rib, desserts from that fancy bakery near my office. The good stuff. Because that's what I do. Or what I used to do. My brother Jake's truck was already there. Of course it was. Golden child always shows up first. I walk in through the side door, same one I've used since I was a kid. And there's my mom, standing at the counter, not even turning around. "You're late." No hug, no "how is the drive," nothing. Just that. I look at the clock. 5:32. I told her I'd be there around 5:30. But, okay, sure. I start unloading the bags anyway. Jake's in the living room, feet up, beer in hand, watching football like he pays the bills in that house. Spoiler, he doesn't. Let me give you some context, because this part matters. Over the last 10 years, I've sent my parents, not helped, not chipped in, funded, $1,500 a month for bills, paid off their credit cards twice, covered my dad's surgery, fixed their roof after a storm, bought their new furnace, even paid Jake's bail twice. Yeah, that kind of family. Total? Somewhere around $280,000. I never kept exact count because I thought I was investing in something real, family. Back in the kitchen, I hear my mom talking on the phone. Probably Aunt Lisa. "Elena's here," she says. Pause. "She brought some stuff." Some stuff. I look down at the $400 worth of groceries sitting on the counter. Some stuff. Got it. Jake walks in, cracks open another beer, glances at me. "Boston treatin' you good?" I nod. "Yeah." He smirks. "Must be nice." Must be nice. I almost laugh, because what he really means is must be nice being the one who pays for everything. Dinner that night, same dynamic as always. Jake talks, Mom agrees, Dad stays quiet. I sit there like background noise, like I'm just visiting, even though half the things in that house, I paid for them. Later that night, I'm in the guest room, my old room, lying on that same creaky bed I grew up on, and something feels off. You ever get that feeling? Like the air is just wrong. Yeah, that. Next morning, Christmas Eve, I wake up early. Habit. I head to the kitchen to make coffee, and that's when I see it. An envelope. On the counter. From a bank. Not just any bank. The one tied to the home equity loan I was on. Now, here's the thing. I co-signed that loan 5 years ago because my parents were struggling, because Jake was getting back on his feet, because family helps family, right? Yeah, that lie. The envelope's already opened, carelessly, like someone didn't expect anyone else to see it. I pick it up. Just instinct. I wasn't even trying to snoop, but I catch a glimpse. Just one line. Account balance, 0 available credit. My stomach drops. That line used to be $75,000. Available, untouched, emergency money. My safety net tied to that house. Now, gone. I hear footsteps. Jake. Put that down. His voice is sharp. I look at him. What happened to the credit line? He smirks. Used it. Used it, just like that. For what? I ask. He smirks again. Stuff. Stuff. I look at my mom. She won't meet my eyes. That's when I know. This wasn't just Jake. How much? I ask. No one answers. I open the envelope fully. My hands are shaking now. Statements, transactions, withdrawals. Large ones. Repeated. Total? $68,400. I feel something snap. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet, like a thread finally breaking after being pulled too tight for too long. You used my name to pull this money. Jake scoffs. Relax, it's the family account. No, no, it's not. My name is on that loan. That's my credit, my liability. Jake steps closer. You think you're better than us now? There it is. Always comes back to that. I think you stole from me. Silence. Heavy. Ugly. My mom finally speaks. Lower your voice. Not what happened, not we need to fix this, just lower your voice. And that's when it hits me, clear as day. I'm not family, I'm the bank. Christmas dinner starts anyway, like nothing happened, like I didn't just find out I'd been drained dry. Relatives fill the house, laughter, music, fake smiles. Jake's telling stories, Mom's hosting like everything's perfect, and me? I'm sitting there, watching, seeing everything for what it really is. At some point, Jake makes a joke about me, about how I'm too serious, about how I don't know how to relax. People laugh. Of course they do. I don't. I stand up, quiet, calm, and I say, we need to talk about the money. Room goes dead silent. Jake rolls his eyes. Not this again. I take a breath. No, we're doing this now. And that's when it happens. Fast, sudden. He shoves me. Hard. I stumble back, hit the table. Pain shoots through my side. Glasses rattle. Someone gasps. And I look around, waiting, for anyone to say something. No one does. My mom stands up, walks over, looks at me. Not him, me. Don't start drama today. That's it. That's the moment. Something inside me just lets go. No yelling, no crying, nothing. I grab my coat, my keys. I walk to the door. My dad, he doesn't stop me, doesn't say a word. Just like your story, he opens the door. Cold air hits my face, and I walk out. No goodbye, no looking back, because deep down, I already know, if I stay, I lose myself completely. And as I drive away that night, hands shaking on the wheel, heart pounding, one thought keeps repeating in my head. I'm done paying to be disrespected. But I didn't know yet. What I was about to find out next would change everything. And trust me, what came after, way worse than a shove. I got back to my apartment around 2 a.m. Didn't turn on the lights, didn't take off my coat, just sat there, in the dark, staring at nothing. You ever feel like your whole life just rewrote itself in one night? Yeah, that was me. And then I remembered something. That envelope, that number, $68,400. Gone. Just like that. I grabbed my laptop, logged into the loan account, and that's when it got worse. Way worse. There were documents attached, recent ones, signed, approved, processed, and there it was. My name, Elena Brooks, on a new authorization form. Except I never signed it. My chest tightened. I zoomed in, looked closer. The signature? It wasn't mine. Not even close. They didn't just use the money. They forged my signature to get it. I sat back in my chair, and for the first time that night, I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so insane, so beyond anything I'd let myself believe, that my brain didn't know what else to do. My own family committed fraud, using my name. That's when something shifted, completely. This wasn't about respect anymore. This wasn't about feelings. This wasn't about family issues. This was a crime. Next morning, 8 a.m., I called a lawyer. No hesitation, no second guessing. I emailed everything: documents, statements, screenshots. By noon, I had my answer. This is clear forgery and financial fraud. Hearing it out loud hit different, because now it wasn't just in my head, it was real, official. We filed immediately. Fraud report, bank dispute, legal notice, everything. And then I did something I should have done years ago. I cut them off, completely. No more money, no more calls, no more fixing things they kept breaking. Silence. 3 days later, my phone exploded. Mom calling, over and over. Jake texting, "Why are you doing this? Are you serious right now? You're ruining the family." No, let's be clear. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped holding it together. Then came the message that told me everything I needed to know. From my mom. "You could have handled this privately." Privately. Like stealing from me wasn't the problem, getting caught was. I didn't reply. A week later, the bank froze the account. Investigation opened. 2 weeks later, Jake got served. And suddenly, the tone changed. Real fast. Now it was, "Let's talk. We can fix this. You're overreacting." Funny how accountability feels like an overreaction when you've never had to face it. But I was done. Completely. Months passed. The truth came out. Everything. Jake admitted it, said he thought I wouldn't care, said I have more money anyway. Let that sink in. Not, "I'm sorry," not, "I messed up," just, "You can afford it." That was his logic. In the end, he avoided jail, but barely. Probation, debt repayment, legal record. My parents? They didn't lose the house, but they came close. Real close. And for the first time in their lives, they had to figure things out without me. No safety net, no backup plan, no "Elena will handle it." Just reality. And me? I rebuilt. Not financially. I was always fine there. Emotionally, mentally. I learned something most people never do. You can love people and still walk away from them. Because love without respect is just control. I stopped answering calls, stopped explaining myself, stopped trying to prove anything. And slowly, peace showed up. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet, steady, real. Sometimes I still think about that night, the shove, the silence, the door opening. And you know what? I'm grateful. Because that was the moment I finally saw the truth. I wasn't losing my family. I was losing the illusion of one. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. So let me ask you, if you were in my place, would you have stayed or walked away like I did? Because sometimes walking away isn't weakness. It's the first time you choose yourself.